Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, or if you're new here, thanks for joining in. For today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about my pile of possibilities for the Amazing Readathon. If you don't know what the Amazing Readathon is, it is a readathon that takes place in June and is hosted by Four Paws and a Book, or Bree, as a lot of people know her. The purpose of the readathon is for like-minded readers to get together and read books. Well, that's kind of just like the high level of it, but the reality is it's a lot like the Amazing Race. You sign up for a team, you complete tasks, and you go to all different places around the world. Though this year we're not really going around the world, it appears we're going outside of this world. Every individual who wants to participate can sign up for a team. I believe she has a total of 5 teams this year, 4 teams that are competitive and 1 that is non-competitive. This allows people who are not looking for a super competitive event to be able to participate in the readathon without feeling the stress of meeting the goals. This year she has a total of 5 different teams, and I myself have signed up for the Illusionist team. The reason I ended up picking this team is Bree did a really fun survey over on her Instagram, and depending on your answers for that survey, and there was like 5 or 6 questions, that kind of gave you a good indicator for what team to pick. My friend and I do this readathon together, and we both ended up overlapping for the Illusionist team, and that's where we ended up, which I thought was really cool. For today's video, I thought it would be fun to share my pile of possibilities based on the prompts that Bree has already provided to everybody. Last year, when I participated in the readathon, we didn't know what the prompts were ahead of time. We were actually surprised every 3 or so days with the prompt. If you didn't finish the book in time, you had to finish your previous prompt before you could move to the new location. This year, Bree has provided us the 10 prompts for the locations ahead of time in order for us to put together a pile of possibilities. She also will be providing us random prompts for other different extras that you can do at each location. I'm really excited about this part because it does allow me to go through my collection and pick books based on the prompts. Though I will say, some of the prompts are a little bit harder than others, which is great, but I'm not going to be able to really give any information for those because it's based on the previous read. So I will call those out later. So what are the 10 prompts that Bree has given us for the readathon? The first category that Bree provided us was a book with low ratings that you think that you'll still love. This can be any book that has basically a 3.5 stars or less. I went through my list of books and I came up with a total of 5 different books that I have either on my person as a physical book or on my Kindle or Kindle Unlimited. The first book on my low ratings list is The Stars Are Dying by C.C. Peñaranda. I think I said that right, but if I didn't, I apologize. This book has a 3.5 star rating, so it falls right in the category, but I bought this book because it was really pretty when I was at Target, and I am really excited to read it. So hopefully it meets my expectations and I enjoy the read. The next one is The Only Survivors by Megan Miranda. This one I have on my Kindle. I've read a few other Megan Miranda books and I actually really enjoyed them. I like mystery thriller, so I think I would really enjoy it. Third book that I have is The One That Got Away by Mike Gale. This is a novella, so it's a little bit smaller. It will make it easy for me to do a quick read for that particular category if I have other books that I'm trying to get done at the same time. Book number 4 on my list of pile of possibilities is Follow Me by Elizabeth Quinn. This one is also on my Kindle. I think it's one I got from Amazon Reads First, and I don't know too much about it, but it does look really good even at 3.5 stars. The last book is With a Vengeance by Riley Sager. I have been hearing really good things about Riley Sager's writing, yet I've never read a single one of his books, so I am hoping that I can use this one for this prompt. If not, I might have to find it for another one, but that is my 5 books that fall under a book with low ratings that I think I will love. The second prompt is an over-the-top cover. This is open to interpretation. A lot of people have said that they're going to use books that are like excessively colorful or the cover is really just over the top. I also thought of using books that have like a cover with a view from the top down, which would be kind of cool, but I'm not really sure if that really qualifies, so I'm going to have to ask in the Discord. But that was kind of my interpretation of it. For this one, I actually pulled a total of 4 books: Lies and Weddings by Kevin Kwan, Sword Heart by T. Kingfisher, Three Mothers by Hannah Becketman, and Nine-Tailed by J.C. Lee. Common thread in these 4 books is that the covers of them are overly colorful, overly designed, and they're just beautiful. I really love books like that. I am definitely a person that reads a book by their cover, and that is why these ones ended up on the over-the-top list for me. The third category that I have on the list is a book with a green cover. This, again, can be open to interpretation: how much green, how little green, anything like that. But I was able to find quite a few books with a lot of green on them, some of which I was debating adding because I love them and they would be rereads. But I have a lot of books on my TBR pile, so I thought it'd be good to pick some books that maybe could use some love. In this category, I ended up with a total of 7 books. First book is The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. The second one is Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. Now, I will say for this one, I am doing the new published version, and the new published version does have a lot more green than his previous cover. So that is something that you should take into consideration when you're looking at these books. I'll make sure that I display the right one up on the screen so you'll be able to see the green. The third book is The Bogwife by Kay Chronister. This one was actually an ARC that I received from a local bookstore, and it does have a lot of green. It's a very muted green, and the font and everything is green, so that's why I added it to the list. Yerba Buena by Nina LaCour. Again, this is another book that has a lot of green on the cover. It's not 100% green, but there is a lot, so I'm counting it towards the total. The Bone Keeper by Luca Vesta. This one was recommended actually from an employee at Barnes & Noble, and it has a lot of green on the cover, and I'm really interested in it. I tend to like books where there's a lot of mystery, and again, this one falls in that category. The next book on the list is Before We Forget Kindness by, I'm going to read this so I get it right, Toshikazu Kawaguchi. This is a Japanese author, and I only bought this book, I bought the whole series because there's cats on the covers, and it's kind of a random thing, but every time I go to a bookstore with this particular group of friends, I end up trying to find a book that is related to cats, has a cat on the cover or something like that. So I have a lot of books like that, and they tend to be Japanese, which I find very interesting. But I am excited to read that one. I just need to make sure that I don't have to read the other ones first. So that is on my list. The last book on my list is The Girl in the Midnight Maze by Kathy Hayward. This is a Kindle book that I also got as part of Amazon First. I don't know much about it, but it does have a ton of green on the cover. The next prompt is a celestial or godly word on the title. Bree gave us some ideas. This particular prompt, she provided us with star, sun, eclipse, lunar, galaxy, angel, demon, fate, etc. For the celestial or godly word in the title, I came up with a total of 4 books that I already have either on hand or on my Kindle. Those 4 books are The Saints of Swallow Hill by Donna Everhart, A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen, Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross, or Four Ruined Realms by Mike Cortland. I actually think for this one, if it does come up earlier in the month, I'm going to read A Fate Inked in Blood because I have a book club in July that focuses on the second book in that series, and I haven't read the first one yet. The next category on the list is a book with a romance. There are a lot of books that have romance. Again, this is open to interpretation. For me personally, I tried to pick books that have romance or are known to be romance novels. That way I'm not skirting around the prompt at all. But that being said, I also believe that there are lots of books that are maybe more fantasy or maybe serial killer, and there is romance in there. So I think you could use that and open that to interpretation. Again, for this particular prompt, I picked books that have romance or are categorized as romance novels. For the category of books with romance, I picked 4 books from my list that I think would meet the prompt. The first book is Onyx by Jennifer Armentrout. This is a book I picked up randomly because it was pretty, but it does have romance and it's YA, so it might meet multiple categories if I can make it work that way. The second book is The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. I've had this book for a while and I've wanted to read it, so I'm excited that it made it on the list, but we'll see. It depends on what I feel like reading when the time comes. The third book is Not Quite by the Book by Julie Hatcher. I have this one on my Kindle, so I would have to read it there, but I am interested in that book. And the last book that I have for Book with Romance is The Broken Places by Mia Sheridan. This again is on my Kindle, so if I read it, I'll read it over there. The next category is a book with a violent word in the title. Again, this is open to interpretation, but I tried to use things that are known to be violent. I'm going to just read off the books with the titles in this one because I have quite a few. I'm a mystery thriller reader, so it makes sense that I would have a lot of books that fall in this category because I tend to read those more. So I'm going to just list off the books, and I'll post a picture again up here in the corner so you can see all of the books that I'm referencing. The first book I have on the list is Butcher and Blackbird. The next is Murder by Cheesecake. This is a cozy mystery, and I'm pretty excited about it because it has to deal with the Golden Girls. I've heard mixed reviews on it, but I am excited about it. The third book is How to Solve Your Own Murder. The fourth is The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. The fifth book is The Butcher and the Wren. The sixth book is A Talent for Murder. The seventh book is Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone. And the last one is The Killing Planes. As you can see, there's a lot of duplicative words there. I use the word butcher, murder, death, and killing. They tend to be the four that I had. But these are all books that I own or have on my Kindle. So it made it pretty easy for me to be able to do that. I think I'm going to probably like this prompt the most because I have the most options, but it could change. We'll see. The next category that Bree provided us was a book that takes place in a small town. I only have 2 books in this category, and I'm totally fine with that. And it's part of the Pumpkin Spice Cafe series. I'm actually going to use the last 2 books from this series for that prompt because they're all set in a small town. The first one that I haven't read yet is The Christmas Tree Farm, and the other one is Strawberry Patch Pancake House. I'm really excited to read these books. I really like these books. They're cozy, they're fun, they're really great reads, so I'm excited to read them. I should also note these books will also meet the category for me of a cozy read. They're comfort books, they're cozy books, so they'll fall under that as well. Bree did say this is up to our interpretation. It's comfort means it's an author you love, it's a romantic comedy, it could be just anything like that. So I'm going to put these books in that category as well, so I can use one for books that take place in a small town and one for a cozy read. I do have other books on my Kindle that I could use for this prompt, but again, they fall under cozy mystery, so I would use those for that. The next category is a chilling cover. Again, this is open to interpretation. It could be something where the cover gives you chills. It could be something where it's set in a cold place. It could be, anything like that. For this prompt, I went pretty literal and did things that are related to winter or frozen or freezing and ended up with a total of 4 books. The first book is A Week in Winter. The second book is Icebreaker. The third book is Shiver. And the last one is Beartown by Frederick Backman. Now, Beartown is literally just based on the cover. The cover looks very icy and cold, so that's why I picked that one. The other ones are actually related to being stuck in a frozen location, so that's why I picked that. So those are my 4 for a chilling cover. The next category is a book set in a large city. I had a little bit of a harder time with this one because a lot of books don't tell you where they're actually set. So you don't always know what you're getting into when you're reading the books. So I found 2 books on my Kindle that I think would qualify for this. And that is Bald-Faced Liar by Victoria Helen Stone and The Sublet by Greer Hendricks. Again, The Sublet by Greer Hendricks is a novella. It is a shorter book. So maybe if I don't really like this prompt this much, I could use that one and it would be a quick read for me. But I also am trying to challenge myself and pick books that are a little bit longer, little more like 250 plus pages, but we'll see depending on the time. I don't want to hold my team back either. The last prompt that Bree provided us is a book with less pages than your previous read. Obviously, this particular prompt can be any book as long as it's shorter than the last one that you read. So I haven't really picked anything for this category because I do believe that it will be easy to find a book on my list that meets that category. So that is all of the prompts that Bree provided us. Again, we don't really know what order they're going to come in. She's going to surprise us with that, which I think is really exciting. You don't know what you're going to read, but for me, I have at least a couple piles of possibilities of things that I can use in order to prepare for the Amazing Readathon. I did also include 2 other books that didn't necessarily fit into any category, but could potentially be useful for me as I'm going through the readathon, either to get extra page counts or to meet a prompt with less pages or something along those lines. And those 2 books are The Night She Disappeared by Lisa Jewell. Now, granted, this book is going to be pretty long, but I have never had a bad experience with Lisa Jewell's writing, so I really do want to try to read that in June. And the other book is Into the Fall by Tamara Miller. This one's a little bit shorter, again, 253 pages, so it is a longer book, but it is shorter than a lot of my mystery thrillers, which tend to fall about 300 pages. Well, that is my pile of possibilities for the Amazing Readathon. I hope you'll consider signing up. I'm really excited to participate in this readathon. I had so much fun last year, and I feel like Bree does a fantastic job running and coordinating everything. So if you want to check everything out, be sure to check out the information down below. I'll make sure to share her YouTube so you can see the video, get a little bit more information, and be sure to give her a follow. She definitely deserves it. Well, that's everything that I have for today. I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to watch my video. And if you're participating in the readathon, be sure to tell me what you're reading below. I'm always looking for more books to read. I hope to see you in the Discord for the readathon, and I hope you have a great rest of your month. Bye!